Hey, hey, hey. Hope everybody's doing good. Carl Bryan coming at you with my boy Patrick. Patrick, you there, bud?
Hey, I am. How's it going, everyone?
Yo, yo.
Hope you're doing well.
Yes, we should open up a couple folks. Actually, before we do that, how do I think we might do this? You've got a few updates that you're going to show us. So
Yeah,
maybe what we'll
let's
do. Oh, yeah. So maybe what we'll do.
make sure
I'm
people
going to
can
throw
hear
it
us.
to you. You do. Yeah, you do some magic. Okay. Well, make sure everybody can hear us. I'm going to open up my boy Curtis here. Yo, Curtis, unmute yourself if you would there, buddy. Or maybe that's Cynthia. Hang on a sec. Cynthia. Oh, Cynthia trying to say hi. There you go.
Hey,
Cynthia, how's it going?
hey, Carl, I'm great. How are you?
Fabulous. You
Come
hear
back.
us good?
I can hear you. I can see you, but come back to me because I have a question.
You do have a question?
Okay.
Yes.
Sorry, I missed that. Cynthia, you do have a question?
Yes, I do have a question.
I'll tell you what. I'll open you up here. Let me throw it to Pat, and then he's gonna do. He's gonna show us some of his magic, and then I'm gonna open you back up. Sound good?
Okay, great. Thank you.
You beauty. Okay, I'm gonna put you back on mute. There we go. And guys, just a reminder here before we continue, we've got our certified call for our certified coaches. That's the invitation only program. So just an FYI, we'll finish up at about 40. We're here for 45 minutes today, and then we're jetting. Just an FYI. So get your questions ready, and over to you, Pat. Show us your magic, bud.
Okay. Okay. Sounds good. Can you hear me? Okay.
Hear you great, man.
Hello. Okay. Yeah,
Yep.
I've got some audio problems today, so if I drop off, then just find a way to let me know, and I'll phone in or something. But yeah, just a few changes we got in the software. Just want people to be alert to these. Mostly minor changes at this point. And we're going to keep pushing more changes. We're working on a lot of things in the back end and a big project there, but I'll just run through these very quickly. Notice in your bottom right corner, it says version 3.5.8 on my screen. That's what you should have. If you don't have that version, the best way to get it is to log out, do a hard refresh, and then log back in again. And that hard refresh is a Control-Shift-R. Control-Shift-R. It's pretty easy to do, happens really quick, and you just log back in and you should have that. Okay, so that's the first one. So I'm going to talk a little bit about the security of the software. We've looked at our security protocols. We realized that everyone's security is just really at preeminence for importance, and we want to make sure you guys can trust what you're on here. So we do have active security protocols. We've upgraded them again this month, and we have a regular scheduled security protocol plan, and we're going to be monitoring that closely. So the likely the only way that someone is going to get into the software or to see any of your clients' information is by getting your password. So you have to protect your password at all costs. Otherwise, no one's going to hack into this. So ROI tab, I'm going to show you a couple things here. Assuming you can see my mouse and my screen. Let's make sure this loads here.
Yeah, we can see it loading there, buddy.
Yeah. Something wrong with our internet a little bit today. We've got everyone working from home and studying from home, and my wife's yelling like, "What's wrong with the internet?" And of course, the whole house has to come running when she starts yelling. So I got some
like every
technical
good house. There you go. Every good house runs that way. There we go.
Yeah. Okay. So ROI tab. I just want to show you some things here. These are minor. A lot of them are minor anyway, but just they're kind of important anyway. So this monthly cost of coaching is now starting at blank. So when you come in, it doesn't default to 1,000. It defaults to blank. So you'll add whatever you want to add in there. And oh, what's going on? There we go. Click calculate. It's going to save it. Okay. Now, at this point, when you do a percent of revenue share and you click save, it's now
Oh,
I'll go.
Pat, we lost you there, buddy. Pat, you still there, man? We lost you, bud.
Just save it. You know what?
Pat, we're losing you big time here, bud. We can't hear anything you're saying, man. Okay, guys. Hey, let's. I'm gonna take over here. Pat, you're gonna need to hang on. Where is he? Hey, guys. Okay. All right, hang on a sec. Let me open up everybody and just make sure. Cynthia, I'm coming back for you. Yo, Cynthia.
Hey, Carl.
There?
Yes, I
Okay,
am.
can you hear me fine? You can hear me
I can
fine?
hear
Does
you.
Pat drop it out?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you great. Yep. So what we'll do, we'll wait for Pat. I think he's dropped off here. So if you got, what's your question, buddy? What's your question? How's it going?
So actually, my question was about the exact screen that Patrick was on. So I was doing a PAS presentation or working on it, and in the ROI button, there's a place where you enter the revenue share. And in the particular session I was doing, when I clicked on the little graph that shows the revenue share, it's not showing up. The only thing that's showing up is the monthly cost. And I had emailed support, and unfortunately, in that support dashboard area, there's no way for me to attach a screenshot, which is what I thought I should do. And then when I asked the question, I guess I didn't word it correctly. So Patrick and Adrian thought I was trying to show the revenue share in the printed report. That wasn't the case. I just couldn't get to the revenue share on the screen when I was, entering all the information. And I've logged off, logged on, restarted it, and it's still not showing any revenue share at all. So that was my challenge, and I didn't communicate it clearly. They thought I was trying to add revenue share to my report, which I was not. I was just trying to see.
Okay. Yeah. Gotcha. Pat, are you hearing this? Are you there?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yep.
All right. Sorry, I'm back on the phone here. Sorry, who was asking that question?
Cynthia.
Cynthia. Okay. Hi, Cynthia. Sorry about that. I had a glitch yesterday. I was looking at the same issue with William, and I'm like, "Hey, William, where's the revenue share?" And he goes, "Oh, I don't know." And then, so I just came out, I refreshed it, refreshed my page, and I went back in, and it was there. So, are you on a Chrome browser or Edge or something else?
No, I've been staying with Firefox ever since that came up.
Okay. All right, I'm going to make a note of that, and I'm going to get to. I'll ask William to look at that, because if it's happened for you and it's happened for me, it's a little buggy thing that we need to take care of.
Okay, thank you. I just wanted to clarify, because I know you and Adrian were thinking I was trying to add it to the report. It wasn't that. It wasn't coming up on the screen. So I just wanted to clarify that.
I get it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Probably just a little buggy thing. Okay. Great.
Banana's all good?
Yep.
Okay, Cynthia, do you got any other question for us? All good?
No, that's it. It's all good. Thank you.
Okay, awesome. No problem. We're going to put you back on mute. And guys, again, Pat's going to rip us through a few changes here and updates. But if you got any questions, we need you to have some questions to keep this call going. So put your hand up or plunk your question straight in, and we'll open you up. So back over to you, Pat.
Good. Hey, Cynthia, that's just a comment to Cynthia and the others. It's actually a great point. And William opened up the software code for me to look at, I guess late last week. And there are hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of folders of code, and they each all have to connect to each other. So I just looked in one folder, and there were like 4,300 lines of code. I'm like, I'm going to make a video on this because it's going to be so impressive. Like, the code behind this video is just insane, and to have one guy mastermind everything and just saying, hey, we want this color on this graph to look like this, and he just goes and does it. It's nothing short of magic for sure. But okay, so just continuing on here, you can see on the revenue share chart, I think it's on this horizontal chart here, and I'll scroll down, you can see it here as well. We used to have 1 year, and now it says 1 year projection. So just little things like that we're trying to update. Thing that we're going to come out with pretty soon is we're going to have a little box right below this graph. And it was suggested by one of our coaches, because it shows here you've got the new 1 year profit projection, you've got the current profit. Obviously, the difference is 418 minus 140. And then this is the coaching ROI, or the cost of coaching. And so we want to have a little chart there that says, hey, you're getting a 1900% ROI if this is what happens in that projection. So, you know, of course, when you're doing a jump start, you want to be able to give people at least a 200% ROI. So you can keep working on finding breakthroughs till you get that 200%. And pretty soon, as you keep using it, you'll just come to that pretty naturally. Update on some notes, you know, throughout the, let me just go here, see if I can find a note. Just a minute here. Like notes to coach, sometimes there's a circle with a note there, and just as a note to you, we keep updating those so there's more clarity all the way through. Now, going there, whoops, that's not the one I want. I want this one. Little link here on the left now is training, and the training link goes to the website where we have all the training and all the videos. And what's coming soon in another week or so is a walkthrough, which means for first-time users, when they first enter the software, there's going to be a walkthrough that says, hey, click here. This is where you need to go first. And next, click over here, and then click there. And so it's just going to walk people what to do step by step. Yeah, can you hear me okay, Carl?
Yep, yeah, hear you great. No problem.
Okay. So just, you know, some people come in, I get a lot of the same requests, like they come in here and they go, hey, I only have 3 links across the top. Where are all my modules down the left? It's like, you've got to create a new company. You've got to create a new assessment. You got to click on the assessment, things like this. And it's the same thing. And just basically people aren't doing the training. So with a little walkthrough, we're going to provide that for people. Just hopefully they'll be able to jump into that and do it and learn it. So that's what we're doing with that. Oh, this is a big one that we had. Let me go back to XYZ. Oh, no, I'm going to do a different one. Let's go back as soon as it finishes. Actually, this will be fine. I'll just go here if we can get this to update.
A lot of action on that internet today, bud.
No one's on it, actually. There's no one here. You know, like I said, my wife was yelling this morning because she's trying to serve some clients with her job, and she kept getting cut off, and she's so mad, understandably so. But it could be the extreme Canadian heat.
Could be it.
Now, okay, so what you have here in this little spreadsheet, I'll look at financials. We got a 20% net profit margin and a 50% gross, and this is the number I want to see. So when I go to summary screen, you see I've got all these different numbers here, like 9%, 6%. It gives me a number then there. When we get to increase price, and it gives me 5%, it's exactly $35,000. Now, if I go to priorities and I look down at increased prices, it says increase in revenue 35, and now increase in profits is 35, because when you increase price, it's not affected by gross profit impact. And it's amazing to me, and the person that pointed this out to me, I think Martin Howie pointed this out a couple of weeks ago. It's amazing to me that we've had this software doing this for, 9 months, and hundreds of coaches, and no one caught this, because before it would say 17,500. And you see here that, like, for example, additional products and services, 32,281. But when you apply a gross profit margin, the profit impact is 16,141. We had the same formula going for increased prices. And Martin Howie's like, you can't do that. It's all profit. And I'm like, dang, it is all profit. So we updated it there. It updates now correctly in the reports. And it's really interesting that for 9 months and 600 coaches plus who are in the software, and Carl and Adrian and myself for over a year looking at this, we never caught it. And it just reminded me, well, that, hey, this kind of like this development of the software is kind of like a team sport. Like, we really rely on you guys for your input continually, and to say, hey, what about this or what about that? And we get some strange requests. We get some requests from people who say this is absolutely imperative that you change this right away. It's so wrong. And then we have to debate it as a team, and we go, well, it's maybe their understanding of it, or it is important, but we have to delay it because we have other priorities. So we're kind of juggling all that. But just to say that, if you have ideas on how to improve the software, please send them to me. You can email PAS@noresults-nofee.com, pass@noresults-nofee.com. I'll get those right away. So let me see. I think that's it for the updates, Carl. And we've got new things coming. We've got some exciting updates. We can't share them at this point. They're going to be rolled out over the next couple months, and we'll let you know when it happens. So
beautiful. Good job, buddy. Good job. And emphasizing the team sport. Speaking of the team sport, we need some questions here, guys. I'm going to open up a few folks, see what they have to say. But yeah, I need you guys to come in here. I'm going to open Mike Kiter. We're coming for you, bud. Oh, you're self-muted. There you go. Hey, how's it going?
Here. How are you?
Fabulous. What's happening?
Just learning all that I can with the software.
Beautiful. How are we doing? How'd Pat do? Give him a ranking out of 10 here for everyone.
He's doing good. He's quick to respond whenever we have suggestions. I sent one last week, and he was right on top of it. So he's doing great.
Yeah, he's here now. He's a legend. He's here, so we'll swell his head so it doesn't get through the door. But the man is a legend. There's no doubt about it. Cool. So tell us, give us a question on the software. If I had to press you and you had to ask me a question about the software, what would that question be?
Well, I follow a lot of the Facebook stuff, and people have a lot of the software questions, and I think that they overcomplicate it, and less is more. So if you could speak to most of the coaches, especially newer coaches, to kind of dummy it down, because I think they get ready with this software, and they don't need all the bells and whistles when they're developing that relationship just yet.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I'd agree. And we try to, we talk about that a lot, that it's complicated, but it's not complex, right? So we try to dummy it down constantly. So there you go. Good stuff. Well, look, appreciate it, man. We're going to put you back on mute. There you go. You're back on mute. And here we're going to go through. So we need some questions here, folks.
Yeah, I'll just comment on that as well, Carl, about complexity. And absolutely, there's so many things that you could look at here. But when it comes down to it, what happens with the software is it gives you the ability it levels the playing field for you and other people out there who might have 50 more years experience or a lot more charisma or something. You can go out there and you can find breakthroughs for any company. And all you got to do is practice a little bit and go in and start asking questions. And I tell you, imperfect implementation is going to make you a ton of money. And so Don't worry about getting it perfect the first time. Yeah, go and practice on a couple friends, businesses, family, demo it to anyone who will listen to you. Demo it in the bedroom or something, to the wall if you have to, and so no one's laughing at you. Just get by yourself and just start talking to the wall, and you're going to do a great job when you get in front of a live client. But it's kind of funny, but when I practice my presentations or something for seminars in the past, I just kind of disappear into my quiet spot like my bedroom, and I just run through that module over and over and over and over again until I found some excellence with it. And people think, man, he's such a great speaker. Like, no, I've memorized it 20 times.
That is, practice makes perfect, man. Actually, it's funny, when I bought a Sea-Doo, and I am absolutely hopeless at backing up with a trailer. And if you know anything about having a Sea-Doo versus a boat, it's significantly harder to back up, right, with a Sea-Doo. So we take it, and of course I'm going to do it. And it's at a place called the El Dorado, right? You'd know that one, Pat. But anyway, so basically I'm going to have an audience, right? Not that I'm too worried about that, but it's not an ideal situation when I'm learning how to reverse in this damn Sea-Doo, having an audience, and not to mention some pressure. But anyway, so I sat in my driveway, and my wife she's like, would you give me a break, please? Because I was out there for an hour, and I literally backed up, went forward, backed up, went forward. I did it. If I didn't do it 100 times, I did it over 100 times. Well, maybe not. I did it 50 times all day long and twice on Sunday. And I'm just example. And then guess what? When I got there, I got to the El Dorado, I scoot straight back to my wife's like, holy cow, how did you do that? And I had to get it between a boat and a pillar and this, that, and the other. And, whammo, bammo, thank you, mammo. The next thing you know, I got my Sea-Doo in the water, right? The lesson, the message there, same thing with the software. Just go through that. You don't need to do it 50 times by any stretch, but quite frankly, my personality, I probably would, I would hammer through that thing more than I needed to make sure that I felt super confident and I crushed it when the time came. So be thinking along those lines, guys. Just get your nose, like I said, what Pat said, go to a private place and just do it. And that's what you should do it. Cool. So if you got a question here, lay it on us. Elliot has got a question. Elliot, we're coming for you. Yo, Elliot, what's happening, man?
Not much, Carl. How are you, Pat?
Fabulous.
Good.
Fabulous, buddy.
Good deal. Hey, and I don't remember this problem before. I was just looking. I'm running the latest version, I believe, 3.5.8. And I had a situation where I had turned revenue sharing on, but I wanted to do a comparison and just for my own mindset of turning revenue sharing off. And if I click on the check button, it doesn't uncheck.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah, and the other problem is I can't. Now that I've checked it, I put in 5% originally. I can't change that number either.
Okay, that's a bug.
Yeah, that's new. I've never seen it do that to me before.
Well, I've got it on my screen right now. I'm looking right at it and trying to do it. That's why I got
it.
Okay. Interesting because William just pushed some updates this morning, and one of the things that he was updating was this whole area above the ROI because it was looking clunky. The 1997 box was too short, and so he had to move some things around there. So I'll pass this on to him.
Okay.
Q&A, good question. Elliot, anything else, bud?
No, I guess and I've got to go back and listen. I think, Carl, you gave a talk a couple of weeks ago when I wasn't on the call about presenting and stuff. And I'm trying to figure out, and I've looked at some stuff that's been in the group of when you're doing one of these, whether you do it with the screen on or screen off, or you just show the questions and I guess I wanted to just get some more feedback on the thought process behind that.
Yeah.
My way of thinking, if you've got the screen on, it's distracting.
Yeah. Look, I would definitely, again, picture's worth 1,000 words, so I would definitely have them in a screen share dynamic. But I would just hit financials for me, please, Pat.
Yep.
Like where I'd kind of be, I'd be somewhere like financials. I kind of like you need to get this information initially, right? And again, they need to establish that little red arrow. You are here. So I kind of hit this, and I would live in and around an area like this where it was pretty straightforward. It's the numbers straight from them. Now I'd press pause on my screen share. Then I'd go through, I'd do my magic, so they wouldn't necessarily see the questions that were coming. So I'd be going through, I'd be plugging in my numbers. And now when it came time to close, this is where I'd be going into, like I'd be hitting the return on investment. I'd be plugging in again, that's why we defaulted it to 0, right? So I'd go in, I'd plug in my number, like you're going to pay me $19.97 a month. This is what the return on investment is now going to look like. And I would want to highlight the numbers at the top here where you see 278,250. But again, and I would want to highlight that. And I might open it up a couple times as it was moving along to show them, look, we've already got the 50 grand. We've already got the 75. Look, we got to 100 grand and we've only gone through 3 areas. And now I would open it up here, and then I would show them that, look, this is the tool that I'm going to be using as we're working together and we're establishing, magic as we're working together. This is the tool that I'm going to be using. And you can see I've got the answers at the back of the book, and then I would hit implementation. Can you hit implementation for me, please, Pat?
Yep.
I would hit implementation. So as an example, when we go, like Elliot, you're my prospective client. As an example, we go to work together. Let's assume we want to build a market dominating position, and then I'd click market dominating position. My screen would now be dynamic. It'd be live. And I go I literally have a step-by-step instruction on exactly everything we need to do in order to build your unique selling proposition. I'd be doing exactly what Pat's doing right there. And then boom, I say, so what do you think? Do you want to do this?
Got it.
So the way I've just done it, Elliot, you might find that there's a specific area that you find that, the strategy, before I finish that, hit strategies for me. Before I got to this point, apologies, but I would have hit strategies. So if you could hit that for me, Pat, please.
Yep, done.
It's not. It's locked on the ROI.
Okay, it's just the internet, so we'll have to wait for it.
Okay, so just assume we're staring at strategies. And what I would do is I would definitely open up one of the turnkeys. So dentist as an example, assuming he's not a dentist. I would click the dentist and I would show him, say, as an example, over the next 12 months, how would you like your marketing to look like this, be this strategic, this consistent, et cetera, right? And then I would come here to the answers at the back of the book and I say, so Elliot, what do you think? So you give me a positive response. I say, cool, I got to get some information from you. What's your address? You give me even if I don't need it, because people are trained from a very early age to fill out forms from top to bottom. So I say, what's your address? You tell me. I go, even though I'm on the phone and I'm staring at your phone number, what's your phone number? You give it to me. I read it back and I get you to say yes. What's your email address? You read it, even if I'm staring at it. You give it to me. I read it back to you. You say yes. I say, perfect. So, and how do you want to do the monthlies? Visa, MasterCard, American Express. And then I don't say anything until they speak.
Right.
So that is how I would do it. So the answer, that was a little bit of a hybrid, but you've got the, you've got the software showing definitely so that they can see you're using something powerful, and then basically, going back and forth a little bit, but that's the way I do it.
All right. Well, that's helpful. Thank you.
Makes sense. Beautiful, bud. Awesome. Okay, cool. Put Elliot back on mute. And Mark has got Mark, you're muted, buddy. There you go.
Am I unmuted?
You're unmuted. How are you, Mark?
My wife wants to find the button that mutes me. I don't know what's over there.
So does mine. There we go.
Yeah.
That's it.
Crazy. So
Cool.
I have a
How can I help you?
I have a question on, so I did a PAS, had a blast, by the way, and my strategy was, if I ran out of time, I wanted to cover at least 3 areas with this guy: cut costs, increase prices, market dominating position, and then we'll see what else we get to.
Yep.
Right. So we did the cut costs, magical, went into the increased prices, and just a little backstory, has 8 coffee shops, said he had 10,000 customers. So we just went through the questionnaire. How many customers do you have? He said 10,000. If he did a 5% increase, how many do you think you'd lose? and he said 1,000. And what was fascinating was every time we brought up the idea of raised prices, you could just see him hyperventilating and get that nervous twitch, right? And it's like, oh God, we're going to lose everybody. And so, okay, 1,000, okay. So when we hit, the program said if you raised your prices 5%, you could lose 5,956, and probably should say customers, or 59.6% and still maintain the same profit areas.
Yeah.
The same profits. Blue is mine.
Guys, I want everybody to hear what you just said, Mark. The power of what you just said, and what you did to him, the psychology of going, oh my gosh, because what he just realized is that he's an idiot. Right? That's what happened here. So everybody knows, right? So sorry, Mark, keep going, because it's amazing. Keep going.
Oh, you are so right on. He was like, whoa, you're kidding. Anyway, so this, first of all, I just want to put out there that this little sentence there was transformational during this call. It was mind-blowing. And I know the answers will vary based on everybody's different gross and nets and stuff, but I'm not totally clear on how to explain those. How'd you get that? And I went, yeah, how about those Padres? I don't know. So what is driving that?
What is what?
What's
the
driving?
process?
Yeah. So is all the money going to profit in the increase? Is that what I just heard earlier?
Yes. So when you raise your prices, everything goes to profit as well. So I think
because all the expenses are. Can I just mark all the expenses are covered, right? It's just you're just taking an extra $5 and putting it in the till. If you charge 5, you charge 10 instead of 5. Where does the 5 go? It just goes straight in the till. Whereas in the past you were just charging 5.
And so the till it goes down to net profits.
Yeah.
So hang on a sec. So let's say you've got a $10 product. They're selling a coffee and whatever for $10.
Right.
Let's start at $5. You're selling for $5, and through all the expenses, at the end of the day, the shop owner walks away with $1 because they got to pay everything from rent, salaries, insurance, cost of coffee, all those things. Now,
right.
If you raise the price to $10, what's the cost of all those things that you had to do? Still $1. There's nothing. It hasn't changed. So now you're putting, instead of $1 in the till or in your pocket, basically, you're putting $6 in your pocket. And you've increased, just with that change alone, you've increased profits by, 500% or something. So it's kind of an extreme example. But yeah, so if you're going from $5 to $5.50, then the software calculates that for you exactly how, and this is the formula in here. As you go into the chart that we found here at the bottom of that question, the number of customers you would need to maintain to achieve the same original net profit. And the formula is right here behind this. So I would just say to get this, to really understand it, you have to kind of play with the numbers. And, you could kind of work it on your own. You could open up an Excel spreadsheet, or you could try it in different versions of the software here. And just kind of play with the numbers, and you go, oh, that really works. That's true. So,
yeah.
So I missed how you got to that charts page.
Okay.
There. I didn't see
you click. So let me close that. And right here, when you put something here, this chart comes open.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Now,
Pat, if I may, just I want everybody listening and everybody listening to the recording. I just like it, and like the dynamic that we're talking about with Mark with that client. I think that you guys should think long and hard about, like, if you're only going to get to 4, increased prices is probably, it needs to be at the top of your list for that exact reason. Because again, and why the dynamic that Mark and I just discussed, where the guy went, oh my gosh, I'm an idiot. Right? So Pat, back over to you, bud.
Well, I think we've got a training in the e-learning center on pricing and raising your prices. So it's just useful to go through that again because, you know, I'll just tell you a quick story about what happened to me a long time ago. I used to go to this same barber hair salon guy, and I was paying $20 for a cut, and I went in once, and the guy says, "Oh, with tax, it was $27." I'm going, "What happened?" He goes, we raised our prices." And I was so mad because I thought, I don't need to come here. I mean, it's like, you know, you've got my business, but I don't need to give it to you. There's a lot of other people I can go to get my hair cut. And if he only said, "Hey, Pat, you know, we had to raise our prices, and here's the reason why. You know, we found that inflation and all that is going up, and our cost of supplies has gone up. So, you know, I'm actually, you know, it's costing me a lot more to do haircuts, the cost of my rent in the building, whatever. And, you know, I hope this won't be too much of a concern, but I'm going to serve you really well." I go say, "Hey, Joe, that's totally fine, you know, and I'm still with you here." But because he didn't explain the reason why, then I was just upset. So there's things
and
like
guys,
yeah, go ahead, Carl.
Guys, everybody listening to Pat, so what happened is he just went into storytelling time. Okay, so you follow the email I sent out the other day was Gary Vaynerchuk used to advertise Bud, Jim Beam, and Coors Light, the most popular booze. He'd get you in there at a loss leader. If you bought the Bud, a 12-pack of Bud, he'd actually lose money. But he'd get you in and he'd start storytelling to get you, you know, to the craft brew and the stuff where he had high margins, right? The red wine. So what Pat just did, which is genius, by the way, they've got to do it in such a way, like basically go into storytelling, which is a solution to an enormous amount of challenges in business. So I love it. Make sure you guys use it.
Well, there's so many things on like psychological barriers and pricing as well. So you guys know that if you're selling something for $17.95, $17.95, the psychological barrier is $20. You can go up to $19.95, $19.98, $19.99. You're not going to have a big drop off on customers. But if you go to 20, you change that first 1 to a 2, that's a psychological barrier. Same if you're at $97. You can go from 97 to 99.99, and you're not going to have a drop off, but you hit 100, and that's a psychological barrier. You're going to lose some customers a lot more. You're not going to lose a lot going from 97 to 99. You got to examine the psychological barriers that each price point has. And if you can test it in small groups, of course, you know, it help a client see it's like, hey, we don't have to raise the price on everything, but we could maybe try it. Let's test it on this product here, or let's test it in this location, and let's examine what happens and see how many people we lose. Because like on my screen here, it says, hey, you raise your prices by 5%, you could lose 20% of your customers and still maintain the same net profits. But the power of this is so amazing because let's say you lose 20% of your customers, you're still making the same net profit, but you're working far less hard than you were before. And usually it's those customers who are the biggest whiners and complainers anyway, give you the most customer support issues, all of that. And those are the ones that defect because they're price sensitive or whatever, they defect to the competition. So raising your prices or helping a client raise their prices can solve a lot of customer support issues for them. And it frees up the customer support line to serve everyone else so much better. And you're going to grow that way then. So it does solve a lot of problems. So I think just get some training around this. It's in the e-learning center, and then you can go and you can kind of explain that to clients and convince them that, hey, 2-3% is not going to really hurt you that much.
Yeah, I love it. Cool. Mark, what do you think, bud? Does that help?
I think it's awesome. And also just a final shout out, the answers in the back of the book when we clicked on increase prices on how to roll it out. For the implementation were masterful and gave this guy, there you go, increase prices, step-by-step strategy on how to think it through, because he wanted to raise the prices in about 20 minutes. And we thought, let's be a bit more strategic, but this answers are in the back of the book. Amazing.
I love it. Cool. I love it. Mark, high five, man. We appreciate it, man. Awesome.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Cool bananas. Okay, we're going to put you back on mute. And real quick here, we've only got a few. John, we got a couple more questions here, guys. We might not get all to them, and if we don't, we'll get to it next week. John, we're coming for you, buddy. John Payne, you're self-muted. There you go. John, how's it going?
Hey, it's great. Thanks. The quick question is, so basically he's going to get the roadmap, and then I'm going to ask him essentially, do you want help with that? And then how do I implement a lot of the stuff? I don't know how to actually do it, from a tech perspective. I know how to maybe coach him and guide him, but I can't do it. So how do I do that?
Give me an example. You mean like what?
It's like, I think you need to put an offer here, or you need to run a Facebook campaign, or you need to do something. I'm not going to be able to do that for him. I don't have that expertise to. I can tell him what to do because I know what he should do, but as far as implementing all of that stuff, how do I do that?
Okay, question. I'm not going to have time to answer it as deep as I'd like to, but first of all, that's all in your head. It's all pretty basic stuff, right? Like, how do you, think upsell. Here's a good one for you. Here's a cheat sheet for your forearm: upsell, downsell, cross-sell, proper upfront offer, right? And then actually throw in goal setting and 80-20 in there, as in time management. If you help them do those things, you'll be 5 months into the relationship. It'll be very profitable. They'll be insanely happy with you, and everybody's going to be putting money in their bank account, right? Like 80% of businesses should not be running Facebook ads currently. Right? I think everybody should have a plan to move a strategic direction towards Facebook ads, but you don't do a Facebook ad until you have the capacity to be able to manage, the traffic and that kind of thing. So, and where does that start? A proper upfront offer, right? So if you just look at what we have, we find any business owner $100,000 in 45 minutes without spending $1 on marketing or advertising. Like, there's your offer as a coach. Just butcher, baker, candlestick maker, depending upon what business you're talking about. You just got to help them come up with a really killer, compelling offer. And I don't need to meet them to know that they don't have one. So search the internet, that's why we have a community of 800 business coaches and growing. You've got access to us on calls like this. So that's it's just not that hard.
So if you're looking at, say, implementing internet marketing, digital marketing, I'm not really in that space. It's a big challenge for me, and I have to really strive to figure out how do I implement this, and let alone do it for clients. So what I would do is, if you're not an expert in internet marketing, don't waste your time going there and learning everything. Just go and partner with someone who's already an expert, an agency, and just say, call them your partner, make a deal, or come up with a JV or something. Just say, look, I'm getting clients, they need digital marketing help. And then you go to those clients and they say, hey, we need some Facebook ads. And you're like, oh yeah, we can do those. My partner will take care of it for you. And then just shoot it over to them. But if there's areas of the software that you can't implement, if you don't have a JV partner, you don't know how to do it, or you're doing like, hey, I need to get my client on TV or the radio or free media. You don't know how to do that stuff. I just avoid the questions, because all you're going to be doing is saying, you're going to tell the client, hey, let's find the breakthrough there. And then, hey, well, let's implement that, but you don't know how to implement it. So all you're going to do is look bad, and you're going to cause them a lot of frustration. So find partners who can do things that you can't do and focus on what you really do well. That'd be my advice.
Yeah. Well worded. Makes sense?
Yeah, thank you guys. Appreciate it.
Yeah. Does that help though? Does that kind of make you feel more comfortable with it?
Yeah, it definitely lets me know that I shouldn't go some areas,
Yeah. But like Pat said, you don't expect to be an expert in everything, right? Like, it just, surround yourself with really talented people, and you'll be fine, man. You'll be fine. Okay, we got you back on mute. Hang on a sec. We got Dan. Last question. Dan, the man. Dan, you're muted, buddy. Hey, there he is. Dan, how's it going?
Hey, pretty good. Hey, just like my first week, I just wanted to chime in real quick and let him know I didn't catch his name, but that's what my agency does. So if anybody needs any help for digital marketing, technology, and like office automation, business process automation, I'd be more than happy to help them.
You beauty, you beauty. Hang on, and now I gotta. And who was that? Hang on a second. My mind's mush here, man. Who was it? John Payne? Yeah, there you go. So it's John Payne, but yeah, there you go, man. That's why we have these calls, Dan. So that's cool, man. Good stuff, dude. Good stuff.
And then
Digital marketing.
One question that I do have is that will we ever be able to do like a white labeling of the software in the future?
Yeah, that's so. Actually, I saw that. The answer is that we're in the process. There's possibly, but we are not committing to that in any way. But the question, but no doubt, because it's, you're working with a client. It's like you don't want them to know kind of where you're getting your tools, that kind of thing, or that they could, Google it, and whatever could happen from there. Wouldn't worry about that. When you're dealing with a client, it's not like you're sitting there. And you'll learn this in all the training and whatnot, but you're able to find them $100,000 in 45 minutes without spending $1 on marketing or advertising. The mechanism and the way that you go about doing that is not something that they're like, well, how do you do it? Oh, what's the brand name? Do you know what I mean? Like, this isn't the conversation in their head at all. And quite frankly, they don't, they're not looking for somebody the conversation in their head is not, gee, I wish I find somebody with some software that could rip through my business that had like millions and millions of weighted algorithms. You know what I mean? Like, that's not the conversation in their head. So you just keep it away from that, real simple. And what you want to be doing, the deliverable, is that you're going to be able to find them $100,000 in 45 minutes without spending $1 on marketing or advertising. Just that's the way you want the dialogue to be going, and your copy to be going, and your emails to be going. Not mentioning the brand of the software. Wouldn't worry about that.
No,
that makes sense.
Yeah, it does completely. The only reason why I even bring it up is I was talking to someone yesterday or day before yesterday, and one of the things that they came back and they said, oh my gosh, this is why isn't my CPA and my accountant doing this for me already for as much money as I pay them, right? So then not that I'm worried about losing people kind of a thing, but then the next thing,
I got it.
Right? You know what I'm saying?
Yep. High five, man. That's like I said, that's you're going to do well, man. If that's the reaction you're getting straight away, you're going to do well. So I love it. And they're right, by the way. Like, why aren't they? And that's why you should be going to the accountants and forming joint ventures and the business brokers and the promotional company and the advertising medium and the newspaper, magazine, et cetera, for sure. So there you go.
Yeah, I'm supposed to be. I haven't gotten access to any of the training materials and stuff like that yet. I think my first call is tonight, and then I think I'm supposed to get turned on for everything else.
Yeah, that's it. We kind of spoon feed you just because it can be a little bit overwhelming at first. We try to just baby steps to get you going, but don't you worry. It's all coming thick and fast here, buddy. Don't worry about that.
Yeah, no, I love it. I love it. I've been talking to everybody about it. I mean, it's, this is a program that every single, the way you guys structured it is really awesome because every single business can be in some portion of this customer journey.
Yeah, I love it, man. Okay, cool. Look, I'm going to put you back on mute.
Everybody, thanks.
Appreciate that. You're welcome, buddy. You're welcome. And Pat, we got to zip, man. We got a certified call coming up here. So let's do that. Pat, any parting words for our folks here, bud?
Yeah, just need help. Let me know. PAS@noresults-nofee.com. And we'll do our best to help as soon as we can.
Awesome. Okay, buddy. Appreciate it, man. Let's go kick some butt, everybody. And appreciate y'all being here, and we will see you next time. Adios, folks.